In a small village called Brookville, surrounded by a dense forest, lived a girl named Lily. She was 10 years old, with bright blue eyes and long, golden hair. The forest near her village was dark and thick, and the villagers always warned Lily to stay away. "The forest is angry," they would say, but Lily didn't understand what that meant. One sunny afternoon, Lily was playing near the edge of the forest with her best friend, Ben. They were picking flowers and chasing butterflies. The forest seemed so peaceful and inviting. "Let's go explore," Ben suggested, his eyes shining with excitement. Lily hesitated. She remembered the warnings, but her curiosity got the better of her. Just for a little while, she agreed, and they stepped into the forest. As they walked deeper into the woods, the sunlight dimmed, and the air grew cooler. The trees were tall and ancient, their branches twisting like old, bony fingers. Lily and Ben followed a narrow path, marveling at the strange plants and colorful mushrooms. Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound behind them. They turned around but saw nothing. "It's just the wind," Ben said, though he didn't sound very sure. They continued walking until they reached a small clearing. In the center was an old stone well. "Look at that," Lily exclaimed, running towards it. Ben followed, but as they got closer, the wind picked up, and the trees seemed to whisper. Lily shivered, feeling as if they were being watched. "Maybe we should go back," she said. Ben nodded, but before they could leave, the ground beneath them started to shake. The trees around the clearing began to creak and groan, their branches swaying wildly. "What's happening?" Ben shouted, his eyes wide with fear. The forest seemed to come alive. Roots burst from the ground, wrapping around their legs. The trees leaned in closer, their bark forming twisted faces with glaring eyes and snarling mouths. "You shouldn't be here," the forest seemed to say, its voice a deep, rumbling growl. Lily and Ben struggled to free themselves, but the roots held them tight. "I'm sorry," Lily cried out. "We didn't mean any harm." The forest didn't seem to care. The ground split open, revealing a dark pit beneath the well. From the shadows emerged a figure, tall and cloaked in darkness. It was the spirit of the forest, angry and ancient. "You have disturbed my peace," the spirit said in a voice that echoed through the trees. "Now you must pay the price." Lily and Ben trembled with fear. "Please, let us go," Ben pleaded. "We'll never come back, we promise." The spirit stared at them with cold, glowing eyes. "Promises are easily broken," it said. "But perhaps I can be merciful, if you prove your respect for this forest." Lily's heart raced. "What do we have to do?" she asked, her voice shaking. The spirit pointed to the well. "Retrieve the token of peace from the bottom of the well. Only then will I release you." Lily and Ben exchanged nervous glances. The well was deep and dark, and who knew what lurked within? But they had no choice. With a deep breath, Lily approached the well and looked down. She could see nothing but darkness. Ben found a long rope nearby and tied it to a sturdy tree. "I'll hold the rope," he said. "You climb down." Lily nodded, her hands trembling as she gripped the rope and began her descent. The walls of the well were damp and cold, and the air was thick with the smell of earth. As she went deeper, the light from above grew fainter until she was enveloped in darkness. Suddenly, her foot hit something solid. She reached down and felt a smooth, round object. It was a small stone, carved with intricate patterns. "I found it," she shouted up to Ben. With the token of peace in her hand, Lily climbed back up, her heart pounding. When she reached the top, Ben helped her out of the well. They turned to face the spirit, holding the token high. The spirit's eyes glowed brighter as it examined the token. "You have done well," it said. "You have shown respect and bravery. I will honor my promise." The roots released their grip, and the trees slowly returned to their original positions. The ground stopped shaking, and the forest seemed to calm. "Remember," the spirit warned, "this forest is alive. Respect it, and it will respect you." Lily and Ben nodded vigorously. "We understand," Lily said. "Thank you." With a final, chilling gaze, the spirit faded into the shadows, and the forest was still once more. Lily and Ben hurried back to the village, their hearts still racing from the ordeal. When they told the villagers what had happened, the elders nodded knowingly. "The forest is old and powerful," they said. "It demands respect. You are lucky to have been spared." From that day on, Lily and Ben never ventured into the forest alone again. They made sure to respect the boundaries and keep their distance. The forest, in turn, remained peaceful, its trees standing tall and silent, guarding the secrets of the past. But sometimes, on quiet nights when the wind whispered through the trees, Lily could still hear the faint growl of the forest, reminding her of the day they faced its anger and lived to tell the tale.